Welcome to Chamber TV. My name is Dan White. I'm the CEO of West Nova Chamber. Chamber TV is a show about interesting people, interesting places, interesting things. So we have an interesting show for you to watch today. It's about the most beautiful gift shop maybe in the whole darn world, and it's here in Annapolis. So as stated, my name is Dan White, and who are you?
I'm Lindsay.
You grew up in Georgetown. What brought you to Nova Scotia?
Well, I went to Acadia way back when,
Mm-hmm.
and then when my parents decided to retire, they kind of decided to look out this way, and Mom threw a dart at a map, and here we are.
So there you are. Now, there's an interesting story about how this business actually was conceived. What was that? What was going on when you decided that this was going to be your gift shop?
So I was working at I was working at a company in Ontario, and it was during the pandemic, so it had gone remote.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents had moved out here, and my grandfather was like, "Well, you're not leaving without me." So they built him a house on their property, and
Right.
Unfortunately, he passed away before he could move in.
Oh no.
So I moved into Granddad's house because I was remote anyways,
Right.
and they weren't all that impressed that I left the province. So they switched me to contract, and when my contract ended, I had to return my computer, and the only Pure Later hub is up the street at the variety store.
Right.
And there was no parking there at the time, so we parked just in front of the store here. I ran up to go return my computer, and I got back in the car, and Mom's like, "This building's for lease. Do you think we could go do something with it?" And now here we are.
Right. So you come in, and when do you start in the morning?
So right now we open at 10.
Yeah.
So we come down and turn on all the lights, and we have all these little magnet lights that we stick into all the cabinets, so it's much brighter in here. And
Mm-hmm.
turn on the music, open the door, put out the lovely sign.
Yeah.
And on a great day like this, we get to leave the door open all the way,
Mm-hmm.
and like we were kind of saying earlier, the side of the street is very dark, so it's hard sometimes for people to tell if we're open. So when we have the door open, they walk by and they're like, "Oh, look at this!" And
Yeah.
usually these
So
folks
tell me
have
about
their
that. What type
attention.
of reaction are people having when they walk into your store?
Well, I have an entire wall of accolades in the back room there that's just filled with compliments.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's-
So
we
it's
get some
pretty
good
positive
ones.
reaction.
Yeah.
I understand your dad's involved in the business as well.
Yes.
So what does he do?
I put him to work.
Oh, you're the boss lady.
Yes. We used to work together in construction in Ontario, and I was on the other side, so I was constantly getting fired, and he would give me a task, and I would go into his office and be like, "Okay, I need more details," or like, just some little annoying trait, and bug him, and he'd be like, "You know what, you're fired." All right, see you in 5 minutes. Leave
Right.
and come back. So now I'm on the other side, and I get to sit here and tell him that he's not behaving properly, that he's
Yeah.
fired.
So you kind of keep him in line. So,
Yeah.
so that's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who's your ideal customer that comes in the store?
There's all sorts, really. Like, obviously, I like the ones who buy things.
That's what I'd say.
There's lots of very interesting people that come in. In a weird way, I'm kind of like a bartender. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I had a customer come in last week, and she was in here for 2 hours, and like she walked around for about half an hour and bought some things, and then on her way out, she was paying for something, and I made a comment about her wallet, and she's like, "I bought this at the Vancouver ferry terminal," and then it was just off, and she told me her entire life story, and she lived a very interesting life, and I learned so much from her, and it's like, I love that part. That's really cool.
So yeah, that's kind of an interesting analogy, comparing it to the bar.
Yeah.
Because people come in and they find things they like and they're
Yeah.
interested, and then you start to talk, so you become a bit of a hostess.
Yeah, I have a lot of people now that come in and don't necessarily buy anything, but they just come in and they stand at the front counter and they talk to me, tell me about their day, or
Yeah.
some new piece of information that they're involved in, and so it's I like that part.
So you get to learn about the community.
Yeah.
So how about shopping locally? Are you finding that the locals are shopping here? Is it mostly tourists, mostly passerbys?
It's Both. I find the tourism is starting to pick up now. So
Yeah.
we last week, or then the last couple of weeks, we've had people in from Germany and Denmark. We had New Zealand. Americans are starting to come in. And as for the locals, right now what's happening is, because we've been here for a year now, so they're very familiar with the store, but as soon as they have any friends or family that are flying in or coming in to visit, we're their first stop.
Yeah.
So they want to show us off as much as we want to show off.
Okay.
So it's been kind of cool.
I can see that. That makes an awful lot of sense because you really do have a fantastic gift shop, and the viewers will get to know that they're going to get a tour of the shop at the end of it. So, what would be a problem client? What would they be like?
Oh, well, you know what, honestly, at the very beginning, the wall of accolades started because of a problem client, and just so happened, right now our inventory is just over 80% Canadian, and
Right.
65% of that is Maritime artists. And this lady came in and just happened to pick up an item that was not from North America,
Right.
and said everything in here is from China. And I was like, no, it's not. I swear it's not. And it made me feel so uncomfortable and so not, like, that's not what we were here to do. That's not the image that we wanted to promote. And it felt not that wonderful. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to focus on those anymore. I'm going to focus on the positive comments. So as customers come in and they give me the wonderful feedback, I write them down and I put it on a Post-it note. And if we have anybody else that comes in and rocks the boat a little bit, I go back and I go look at that wall and remember that that's the majority.
Yeah.
So.
You know, it's funny how the mind works. If you have 99 customers who love the place and love you, that's wonderful. And then one person comes in and complains. And what are you thinking about? the one person.
Yeah, we have questions for that.
Yeah, so where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Well, it's dependent on the economy at the moment, right? If we can have the winters are very quiet.
Yeah.
You have to make these next couple months that are coming up, we have to make them last.
Yeah.
And
So Nova Scotia is now turning into 12 months a year tourism.
yes, that would be ideal.
The Pines is doing it, and so some of the towns, stores in town, the businesses around are also doing it.
Yes.
So we need to look at that. Go ahead.
We had talked to the lady at the Red Onion, Melody. She had come in and we had talked about possibly trying to get everyone in town to be open on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a start to see if maybe that can kind of cause a ripple effect to allow more people to come in. But I think in the winter it would be nice if we all could get together and at least establish like a Thursday through Sunday open.
Yeah.
And if the other tourists or even, Nova Scotia locals as far as Halifax or whenever they go out for their day trips, if they know that Annapolis Royal they're going to come and it's open, then that can create huge opportunities for everybody in this town.
That's right. So I think what it really sounds like is we as a community need to be more outgoing. We need to be getting the word out there. We need to be figuring out how to work together.
Yes.
Because there's a real future here in Nova Scotia for that. And I know you've got a fantastic store here. So what would be your message to the viewers? Why should they come into your store?
Just come check it out. It's a really cool place. We have an awesome vibe in here.
Mm-hmm.
There's, we get some comments saying that people want to live here. They wish that this was their house, and just, so we got a comment last year. Somebody said that as soon as they walked in, they just kind of went, oh, my blood pressure just dropped.
Wow.
It's just relaxing, and so we're not the type of people that are going to chase you around the store and hound you to make a sale. We want you to be able to find something that fits who you are, your life, who you're buying for. So just come in, take a look.
So your store is an experience then?
Yes, absolutely.
And you have a website?
We have a Facebook page.
Yeah. And what's the Facebook page? How do they find you on Facebook?
If you Google us, if you Google us at the Blue Owl Gifts and Home Decor Annapolis Royal, our Facebook page will pop up.
Okay, cool.
And we're just starting to get rolling on that. I've posted a couple of things. And
You take phone calls?
yes, absolutely.
What's your phone number?
902-526-3148.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you being on the show. It's been fun and interesting, and I will follow at the end of this with a bit of a video tour. So thank you very much, Lindsay.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Okay, so here we are in the Blue Owl. Incredible gift shop. And there's a story behind everything in here. Now, if you have all day, you can just stay tuned because we'll be here for about 16 hours of looking at all the gifts and everything. So
Yes, we get that a lot. We have lots of people who come in and they look around, and then as they're leaving, they're like, I didn't see that, or I didn't see that.
Yeah.
There's a lot to look at here.
Now tell me about the cabinets. You've got all these different cabinets, and I noticed that it's not all the same. What's the story behind all these cabinets?
When we decided to open, we kind of went on a Nova Scotia tour and found a bunch of cabinets on Marketplace and picked them up and brought them back and refurbished them, and each cabinet has its own name. So we, if only one of us is here and we're looking for a certain product and we text the other, we're like, oh, it's in this cabinet. And it's much easier to describe them by name.
Right.
So.
Okay, so so to give me an example of some of the names then.
Okay, so this cabinet is named Moose.
This one is which?
This cabinet is named Moose.
Okay.
When we picked it up, the lady we got it from had a tiny little chihuahua who was named Moose.
Okay.
So that's Moose. That cabinet, it was one of my grandfather's cabinets, so that's Granddad.
Yep.
That cabinet is Bella.
That's the blue one there?
The blue one, yeah.
Yep.
I can't remember why it was named Bella.
Okay.
But that's Bella. This is Julie.
Okay, this one here is Julie.
Mm-hmm.
And get a
This
nicer shot.
is Fancy, because she holds all the fancy stuff.
That's Fancy.
This cabinet is Alex.
Alex.
This cabinet back here has two names. Our family is from Ireland, so we have a cousin named Mick.
What has got Irish accent?
That would be from him.
All right. From your dad, okay.
So this Mick, his wife is Neve, and this cabinet it was split into so we could paint it. So we ended up calling this part Mick and this part Neve. So
Okay, Nick and Neve,
it's
okay.
Mick and Neve.
What about the one in the corner?
I called that one Ocean because originally we had a different product on it.
Okay.
But this cabinet is named Kevin.
This one's Kevin.
And Kevin has a poor reputation.
Okay.
This is Kevin the Third.
Kevin the Third, okay.
There was a couple different cabinets in this area
Yeah.
that just didn't work, and then we got this one. We just kept the name Kevin, but he's been repainted a few times.
Okay.
And then this cabinet is Frank,
Okay.
and this is his brother Hank.
Frank and Hank. Sort of like frankincense.
Yes. This cabinet is Deb. This cabinet is Hector. And then that cabinet is Otis. And the dresser at the very back there is named Daisy.
Okay.
And
But we missed one. Here's a cabinet, and it's got some interesting wooden things in it.
yeah, these two actually don't have a name.
Oh, no.
No, they kind of came in at the very end there.
Okay. They're going to feel like not important.
I know. We should name them. And then the
So we'll call this one the no-name cabinet?
no name, yep.
Okay.
No name, that works.
Did we name this one?
No, this one doesn't have a name either.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Another
this
no-name
is the
cabinet.
no-name section. And then the cash desk. My dad and I rebuilt this together, so we call it Johnny Cash.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So we get a lot of people who come in and they ask if the cash desk is for sale.
Really, eh? There's some very cool jewelry.
Yes, this is.
So tell me about this jewelry. Where is it made?
She's in New Brunswick.
Right.
Her name is Jennifer, And
Is that Jennifer's stuff there too?
no, sorry, this is Sherry. She lives down the street.
Okay. And this?
I made these.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, good for you.
We had to go to PEI to pick up some more lobster trap chairs from a family member. And I had these little bottles, and I decided that I wanted some sand from Tignish because that's where my roots are.
Is
And
that
I
ever
figured
cool?
if I want that, then maybe somebody else does.
Yeah.
So I got more little bottles. I put the sand in them.
Yeah.
I gave everybody a little charm. And then I hand drew all these little Nova Scotia charms.
Cool.
And created a little sand in
Isn't
my pocket.
that's really neat. Well, and now those boxes are kind of a cabinet. Do they have a name?
No, but we decided that we had a couple of these boxes, and we decided that we kind of wanted to create a wall back here, and we found a gentleman on Marketplace who was selling them.
Right.
And we went.
I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm listening while I'm just making sure I get all the pictures in here.
We went to his house, and at the time, I think Mom had arranged that we were purchasing 2 of them, and we were kind of standing there talking amongst ourselves, saying, "Okay, this is great. This is a great start." And he's like, "Oh, how many are you looking for?" And we're like, "A few more." And he's like, "Oh, follow me." And he brought us around to the back of his house and opened this giant shed, and he had like 20 boxes in there.
Okay.
So we bought them all.
Well, that's awesome. That was a good plan. Okay. Cool.